A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. Once upon a time, and a very good time it was too, there was an old moo cow coming down along the road. And this old moo cow that was coming down along the road met a nice little boy called Baby Taku. His father told him that story. He was Baby Taku, who was Stephen Dedalus. Like stepping from stone to stone in a river, Joyce begins with his earliest memories, and then each step takes him nearer to understanding who he is and what he must do to realize himself. He begins with his father, his mother, his governess, Dante, the school playground, the sights, the smells, the colors, the images, the fears, the fear of hell, ghosts in the night, the catechisms, the prayers, going away to boarding school and coming home and sitting around the family table, trying to understand, but not understanding. And then being bullied at school, pushed into a cesspit, falling ill, imagining that he was dying.
Ding dong, the castle bell, farewell my mother, bury me in the old churchyard beside my elder brother.
The sounds, the rhythms, they sent a tremor through his body. Then, sitting around the family dinner table, hearing the arguments, the discussions, sometimes calm, sometimes passionate. How politics was part of religion, and religion was politics. "I am a Catholic," said Mr. O'Casey, "as my father was, and his father before him." It was all history, and stories that made a point without making things clear, like history itself. Then there were the awakening of sexual feelings, the confusion it created, and the questions, endless questions, and punishment. "It can't be helped, it must be done, so down with the breeches and out with your bum." Ah! And the teachers, who were also priests, and the prefects who sometimes punished without good reason, which gave Stephen a chance to become a hero. He appealed to the head teacher. Justice, respect, all to a background of sport. And then, walking in the countryside with his father and uncle, listening, memorizing the words he did not understand, reading the Count of Monte Cristo, imagining the adventures he would have. What romances! He became a member of a gang and became a small Napoleon, giving orders, fighting battles, making choices. And then he did not return to his old school. Something was wrong. He began to walk alone, sometimes thinking of a girl. He realized he was different. Ambition was growing. He knew that one day he would no longer be weak or timid. The family moved to a dull, cheerless house in Dublin, and he began to wander the Dublin docks, getting used to feeling alone and frustrated in love, writing poems to a girl, looking in the mirror at himself. And then his new school. New rivalries sometimes physical bullying, often discussions about who was the greater poet, Byron or Tennyson. Arguing, compromising, but never giving in. And then his father auctioned his property, and he saw his father talking about the old days and drinking. Thank God we lived so long and did so little harm. He felt distant from his father, more mature. Lust was growing. He felt something inexorably moving inside of him. He wandered down among the docks, amongst the women and girls. He found himself in a lightsome room and surrendered himself to her, body and mind. He returned to the women of the night, and each experience damned him the more. He still follows the doctrines of the church, but looks in coldly at the church door. He hears the minister say, "We must follow God's holy will and save our souls." Each word is directed at him, images of hell. He goes and confesses. Sins of sloth, of gluttony, of impurity with himself and women. The tears flow down his face, and he swears never to commit the sin of impurity again. Each morning, in the presence of some holy image or mystery, he feels his soul like fingers pressing a great cash register, and sees slender flowers and incense rise to heaven. Should he become a preacher, a minister, a priest? No. He would find his own wisdom in the world, wandering through its snares. He walks across a trembling bridge. The river below. He can hear his friends diving in the sea and shouting. He takes off his shoes and walks in the sea. And then he sees her. A girl standing in the sea with her skirt up over her thighs, as slender as a crane. God in heaven, life calls. Stephen's soul cries out. It is a revelation, an epiphany. He will go to university. Many a war of wits, studying, reading, discussing. Aristotle, Aquinas. What is beauty? What is aesthetics? What is claritas? What are these things in time and space? Speaking poems aloud to hear the music. Poems to the girl of his dreams, his villanelles. Your eyes have set man's heart ablaze, and you have had your will of him. Are you not weary of ardent ways? Should he follow the church and take the Eucharist as his mother wants? No. He will find his own way in the world. I shall express myself as I am. Welcome, O life. I go to encounter for the millionth time the reality of experience, and to forge in the smithy of my soul the uncreated conscience of my race.